What is going on, guys? It's Bengt. Welcome back to another video. Appreciate you guys for tuning in. In this one, we're talking about how to actually care about people. Now, this sounds crazy. This sounds like something like, what do you mean how to actually care about people? But I'm going to tell you a little bit of a story. So this is coming from my experience. This is things that I've felt and dealt with in my life. I've always been very empathic. I've always been able to kind of feel what other people are thinking and feeling. And when someone's in a bad mood, I can tell. When someone's having a bad day, I can tell. When someone's stressed out, kind of tripping about something. When people are anxious and when people are kind of feeling things, or like I can tell when someone's overthinking shit. And I can only tell those things. I can only identify those things because I've been there and felt those things and had those things myself. I've been anxious. I've been depressed. I've been a chronic overthinker my entire life. I've been a people pleaser. I've been empathic. I've dealt with narcissistic family members and people in my life that have just like, you know, done certain things that have made me hyper vigilant to tiny little like social cues and things that I can just pick up on in other people because I'm so used to identifying them in myself, really as a self-defense mechanism to identify triggers and things when I feel like people are getting ready to hurt me, as shitty as that sounds. But that's a whole other video. We can unpack my 24 years of life experience and identifying childhood trauma and doing deep work on myself and shit like that. But basically, all of those little like micro signals that I've learned to identify within myself and ultimately within other people have taught me a lot. And I've actually been a really shitty person because I thought that I cared about other people, but I didn't actually care about other people. So I'm going to tell you how to actually care about other people and what that actually means, because a lot of us are self-centered, a lot of us are egotistical, and a lot of us are like borderline kind of narcissistic, even if we're willing to admit it or not. And it's not necessarily saying that you are a bad person if you're watching this and you identify with any of that, but it's really just like, yo, we are in such a dog eat dog world where the amount of time, effort, and energy that it actually takes to like be a good person and genuinely care about other people and what they got going on, it's hard because we live in a world with so much stimulation, so much distraction, so much just like noise. You know what I mean? It's like busy work. Excuse me. It's like everyone just like has stuff to do. Whether or not that stuff is actually important or vital to their life, who knows? But, people are just busy to be busy, I feel like. But when it comes to actually caring about people, this is some of the things that I've learned recently that have made me arguably, I feel like, a better person and have allowed me to build a much deeper relationship with the people that are in my life that I really care about. Because, some of them have different things going on, and some of them like truthfully love me and care about me, but I just like was not acknowledging certain needs of theirs that they were vocally and signaling to me, but I just wasn't picking up on it. So I want to save you guys the misery and the guilt that you feel when you come to the realization that you've been a shit person and that you've actually neglected people's needs because you were too selfish and focused on your own. So there are so many things that people will do and say in tiny little like hints, especially if you're dealing with women, because women love to not say what they mean. So if you're dealing with this type of situation in the context of intimate relationship or in your dating life or with women and stuff like that, you've got to be even more hyper aware, because women are very rarely going to say what they actually think. They're kind of just based off of their feelings, and how they feel in each moment might be totally different than what they truthfully align with and what they actually want. So it leaves a whole nother layer of meaning that you have to decipher. But let's talk about how you can actually do this. I've been ranting for a little bit and I want to get to the meat and potatoes here. So the first thing that I had to do to actually genuinely care about other people is realize that I am not shit. I had to humble myself completely. I had, like a situation where for like a week I was completely shattered. And it's because there was people in my life that I really cared about that I was hurting and I didn't even know it. I wasn't even fully consciously aware of the fact and all the things that I was doing. So I had this period of time where I was reflecting a lot. I was doing a lot of meditation, and I basically realized every time ever in my entire life that I had ever hurt somebody subconsciously without even realizing it, just based off of my own traumas. Now, growing up, I kind of developed this anxious attachment style. That could be a whole other video. But basically, it's like I'm very like judgmental, very like filled with negative thoughts sometimes, especially when it comes to like intimate relationships and stuff like that, because growing up in my relationship with my parents and stuff like that, I always like was just kind of on edge and like could never really fully trust somebody, or like the love that I received wasn't um how should I say this, like consistent, you know what I mean? It always, there was this angst about it. And so that's obviously translated into my adult life, and it's something that I had to really work on and unpack and identify, because I always knew that there was this thing there, but I couldn't quite put my finger on it. So now that I've identified that and been able to work through it, excuse me, and work on it, it's been very productive, because I realized all the ways that I was hurt, and subconsciously how that's impacted how I behave and deal with my relationships, and how that leads to me actually having hurt other people in the past. So had to identify where I was coming from, and underneath every piece of negative, stuff, whether it be judging other people, whether it be neglecting other people, whether it be being insecure, anything that you feel about other people, treat that as a reflection of yourself, because truthfully, there's got to be something in you that is making you feel that way. So in order to actually care about people, you need to be extremely empathetic. And like I said, I've always had that in me. I've always been able to tell when people were feeling certain things. But for me to humble myself and put myself below them, you know what I mean? Like really, with no ego involved, look at their life. And a lot of times people will express the things that are hurting them. They'll tell you about their past. They'll tell you about their traumas. And if you don't acknowledge them, and if you don't actually try your best to put yourself in their shoes and think about how the things that you are saying to them are actually impacting them, and how that might actually be furthering their mistrust for you, or hurting them emotionally, or whatever it is, like you need to really do your best to put yourself in their shoes and try to experience what they've experienced, and try to the best of your ability, from like a bird's eye view, think about how the things that you're saying might be affecting them, under the context of they have this, this, and this, and they've had this happen to them in the past. So, really just like trying your absolute best to humble yourself and put yourself in other people's shoes. That is the best way that you can show that you actually care. Because when you can do this truthfully, and I mean like deeper than just surface level, I mean really truthfully understand how the things that you're doing and saying are going to make them feel. That's when you can kind of unlock this other level of like, truthfully building a deeper connection, because the things that they want you to do, you will know what to do and how to fix and meet their needs. Not that you have to like focus on that. You get what I'm saying in the context of this conversation. Let's say we're trying to show people that we care, right? I'm not about bending over and just like being a people pleaser, but when I say meeting people's needs, I mean fulfilling them on like an emotional level, so you can have a better relationship. To do that, you need to display that you genuinely understand how they feel. And a lot of that can come down to listening. And this is a big one for me, because for a long time, when having a conversation, would listen to reply, not to understand. And there's plenty of different religions, plenty of different philosophies, spiritual ideologies, and stuff like that. But a pretty common principle and pretty common theme is that love is understanding. You have to understand someone in order to love them. You have to know about them. You have to feel like you truthfully get them in order to love them, right? So when you listen to understand, you are being conscious, you are being in the moment, you are processing the words that they say. When you listen to reply, you're hearing the words come in your brain. This is you. This is their words. They're going in one ear and out the other. And the whole time you're thinking about blah, blah, blah. What am I going to reply back? Because I'm selfish, I'm egotistical, and I'm just thinking about how I can project my views and my thoughts into the conversation. And I'm not actually taking any effort to think about what this person is truthfully saying to me. So, conversation, listening, understanding, comprehending what's actually being spoken to you, because people are genuinely trying to express what they truthfully want in your relationship. They're trying to tell you how to meet their needs. They're trying to tell you how you can help them heal and what you can do to benefit the relationship. But you got to be listening. You got to be intentfully digesting the words that they're speaking to you in order to really catch those things. And that's where, to kind of bring this full circle, like I said, I've always been empathic. I've always felt other people's like energies and vibes and kind of how they're feeling. So it's like, why could I not pick up on those signals further and identify them? Because I wasn't actually listening to it. I was feeling it. The energy, the words, the whatever were going in one ear and out the other for me. And until I really started to digest and pay attention to what they were saying, that's when you start to pick up on the minute details. That's when you start to catch those tiny little words, the couple phrases, the tiny little shifts in body language, and people will show you exactly what they need from you. And once you can learn to identify those things, you will be able to establish a much deeper relationship. You will be able to show the person that you actually care about them. And it'll make your relationships a lot better, a lot deeper. Personally, this is just how I am. Like, I hate anything that is like surface level. So, generally speaking, I just want to be able to have genuine connection with people, because it's something that I've been lacking for most of my life, right? And I had friends, and this is probably something you might be able to relate to if you're watching this. I was the type of person that was like, I always had people around me, but still felt alone. Always had people like around, had a lot of friends, was in a lot of social circle. I was a social butterfly, right? Like, I could go to any lunch table and the people were cool with me there. Like, was a pretty genuine, like, well-liked person. However, I always felt like my relationships were superficial, and it's because I wasn't able to actually truthfully empathize on a deeper level. And on top of that, really feeling other people's like emotions and their needs and their pain and their past and everything, and truthfully understanding that when they speak is important. So yeah, basically I was just like a shell of a person for a long time, and until I really figured this piece out, and a lot of it for me was removing your ego, humbling yourself, and realizing that all of the judgment that you are casting upon other people is really just an insecurity that you feel about yourself. So you have to remove your judgment, remove your ego, and humble yourself and understand that all of us are human beings, and all of us have thoughts, feelings, emotions, and stuff like that. Not saying that you should be soft and just like bend your knees and, I'm trying to like say this without being too corny. Don't get me wrong, like, I'm not trying to be like a fucking simp, but what I'm saying is, if you want to genuinely understand people and you want to genuinely have quality relationships, whether this is between man and a man, whether it's between man and woman, coworker, partner, friend, etc., these are all things that you can just like genuinely do to be a better person. And when you can do that, people will like you, trust you, and treat you the way you want to be treated as well. So a quick example of this, like, I was having a conversation about this with a friend the other day, and we're talking about how both of us have this thing where, like, we're driving down the road and we see some, like, little high school kids or whatever, just like out walking, and they got their goofy haircut and, like, their clothes that, maybe they picked out their outfit, maybe they didn't, whatever. You know what I mean? And it's like, oh, this fucking cornball, like, this goofy, like, this, what are these goobers out here doing? You know what I mean? But it's like, why are you casting that judgment onto them? Like, what about them have they ever done or said to you? Like, you don't know them, you know what I mean? So really, it's like, anytime that you're just like out driving, or this was the other example. So my friend does Uber and DoorDash and stuff like that. And he's out driving his car, right? And the person in front of him is going slow. And he's like, oh, you fucking idiot, blah, 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 I gotta go. For him, he's driving to make money. He's got a ride. He's trying to get this paper. He's trying to get that bread, baby. But the person in front of him is driving slow because they just got home from work. they're tired, they're sleepy. They already finished their work. They're on their way home to go to sleep. So, it's just like understanding that other people are other people. Other people got stuff going on in their lives. And, to be a good person, all it takes is to really just remove your ego, remove your judgment of others, and understand that all of that is really just something that is reflective more of you and how you feel about yourself than how you actually feel about those other people. So I'm going to wrap this up. I hope you guys found that helpful. I want to do more videos like this where it's just like me talking, because the hyper edited videos and stuff, they're great. And I still want to do those because I like write the scripts and, put a little more effort into it. But I really I'm focused on building content, getting stuff out there for you guys. I just want to sit in front of the camera and talk, right? That's what I'm here for. That's what I think I'm good at. That's what I think is the most valuable, because when I write scripts and like do videos like that, and I'm not like freestyling it, like there was no plan for this video. It's just like, okay, I'm feeling these things. I've been learning these lessons recently. Let me sit down and talk about it. So when things happen in this kind of style and format, I feel like it allows me to actually speak my mind. And there's like little nuggets of things that come up when I'm kind of going off the cuff that wouldn't happen normally. So yeah, I'm going to keep rocking with videos like this. I hope you guys enjoyed. Definitely check out some other content. You guys have been going crazy. The last couple videos we put up have gotten like thousands of views. I'm super shocked. I appreciate that a lot. But yeah, I'm going to try and keep more content coming for you guys soon. We're talking about everything from like self-development, self-improvement, workout, fitness stuff, business stuff, and everything like that in between. So yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed. Stay blessed. If you made it to the end of the video, you're a real one, and I appreciate you. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace out.